Becoming a champion, it's about more than personal achievement. It's a testament to hard work, resilience, and teamwork. It's a journey filled with sweat, sacrifice, and the support of those around you. There's a strong connection between football and cutting. Just like on the gridiron, in the show pen, you need to master both strategy and instinct. It's about more than just skills. It's about reading your opponent and anticipating their moves. The ability to see what's next can make all the difference when the pressure is on. You have to overcome setbacks, let go of bad runs, and trust the process. Every setback is an opportunity in disguise, a lesson that prepares you to seize the next moment. This resilience is what shapes champions in both sports. And remember, it's never just about the individual. In cutting, your support team, those behind the scene and in the arena, must be at their best to pave the way for success. But the most critical bond is with your horse. Together you become one, creating that perfect picture for the judges. Throughout my career, my connection with my teammates fueled our victories. I'll always remember the thrill of competing on the biggest stage. Winning the NCHA Open Futurity, that feeling rivals it all. Standing in that arena, surrounded by fierce competitors and a passionate community, it's electric. The nerves and excitement comes together, reflecting every hour of preparation. The heart of a champion beats in every competitor who has made it to these finals. Their passion, perseverance, and dedication have brought them thus far. 3 years of hard work hangs in the balance tonight, and that spirit of competition unites us all in this moment. So I have one question for you. Who's ready to crown a new champion? This is the NCHA Metallic Cat World Championship Futurity Open Finals.
To the arena floor this evening, our NCHA Executive Director, Mr. Jay Winborn, alongside of your NCHA President, Mr. Barnwell Ramsey. Why don't you say we welcome to you your open finalists right here in 2025. Folks, to kick off the night right here, it is going to be Gavin Callahan, Millsap, Texas, and Alcohol You Later. This one's owned by the C4 Cutting Horses. As we move to draw number 2, Granbury, Texas brings you Jesse Lennox and Silent Thunder, owned by XIT Cutting Horses. As we move along, we go to Verbania, Alabama's Harris Shepherd and Caddy Ray. We go to Weatherford, Texas. It's his first of 2 on the night. Say hello to Ryan Rapp and Don't Call Me, owned by Mom and Dad. It's Phil and Marianne Rapp. We're going to stay in Weatherford, Texas as we bring you Garrett Hampton and Call Me Stevie, owned by Julie and Michael Magnus. Fort Lumpkins, Colorado, your 2024 Futurity Champion, Kenny Platt and Blue Origin for owners the Crown Ranch. Weatherford, Texas, first time to the big show on finals night. Say hello to Cooper, Clark, and Bomb Proof, owned by SMF Cutting Horses. Weatherford, Texas, by way of our great friends Australia, it's Spud Sheehan and Hey Barbie for the Iron Rose Ranch. Weatherford, Texas brings you a veteran of the game. Say hello to Paul Hansma and Alakazam, owned by Gary and Michelle Reichert. We told you you'd see him back again, folks, at Draw 10, Ryan Rapp and Dragging It, owned by Phil and Marianne Rapp. To round out your first set this evening right here, he is from Fort Worth, Texas. Say hello to Bo Gallion and Minkish for the Jackpot Farm and Ellen Carter. As we move into set number 2, it is Adon Banuelos, Granbury, Texas. Would she be a rising for the 1027 Ranch? Well, folks, we go to Murchison, Texas. It's your reserve Open World Champion of 2025. He's now here in the Open Finals. Say hello, Lee Francois Sisters on the wagon, owned by Barwick and Francois. We go to draw number 14. Feaster, Texas brings us Brad Mitchell, Smooth Metallica. As we go to Alvarado, Texas, it's your non-pro Futurity champion. Say hello to Allie Good and Colt 45. As we look here, it's Marietta's Oklahoma's Lloyd Cox and New Rebellion for Kathleen Moore. Perrin, Texas brings us Casey Green and Platinum Memories and owner Paul Smith. As we go down here, Templeton, California, say hello, Morgan Cromer, SCR Metallic Soldier for the Singleton Ranches. As we go to Columbus, Texas, Thomas Bray, easy does it for owner John Mancuso. Folks, as we go to Lipan, Texas, say hello tonight, Richard Hayes and D-Mac, Do I Want to Know for owner Tim Dunn. As we welcome your final few competitors this evening, we go back to Weatherford, Texas. Michael Cooper, me and Stevie for JB Cattle. As we move down to draw 22 on your sheets, it is the man, Summerdale, Alabama's Austin Shepard and My Kinda Me. And to cap off this evening in the 23rd draw position, it's Augusta, Kansas's Dirk Blakesley and California Raisin for James and Elaine Roletter. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we've introduced to you your competitors here this evening, I'm going to ask you, if you will, rise to your feet for those that are able. Gentlemen, if you would remove cover this evening, as we'd like to go to the Lord in a word of prayer this evening, followed by our national anthem. Dear Lord and Heavenly Father, we just come to you this evening, Lord, and we thank you for these many great blessings. Lord, we thank you for this opportunity to be here today and gather in competition and fellowship. Lord, we ask for a hand of protection to be over each and every one of our athletes this evening. Our equine athletes, the cattle, we ask that you be over each and every one of them to help them compete safe and free from harm tonight. Lord, we ask that you be with each and every one of our men and women that are out fighting for our freedoms to give us this opportunity tonight. Not only here at home, Lord, but abroad as well. We ask that you watch over them, guide them through their days, bring them home quickly and safely to their loved ones. Lord, we ask that you watch over each and every one of our government officials, not only of this great country, but in each country we deal with. We ask that you lift them up to make the best decisions possible, Lord, under your name. And Lord, as we finish our endeavors tonight, we ask for traveling mercies. Whether we may be traveling near or far, Lord, we ask that you make that trek with us. And Lord, we ask all this evening in Jesus' precious name. Amen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this evening I would like to welcome to the mic, it's going to be playing our national anthem, Mr. Carson Seabold. Well, folks, give a round of applause for Carson Seabold. Once again, folks, give a round of applause for your Open Futurity finalists as they are going to clear out the arena this evening. Folks, we are going to clear out your red carpet. We will bring the tractor in and drag it up. We will be back in just a bit here. It is going to be set number 1 of your Open Futurity finals. Folks, we'll be back with you here in just a bit. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to send it down to Ms. Courtney Dehoff and Wes Gallion as they bring you our pre-show here out of set number 1.
Taking a look now at set number 1, first horse to work, going to be a young gun, Gavin Callahan. I'll call you later as the horse, Wes.
Yes, he's very, very talented young kid, and this mare is very gritty, very cowy, kind of a war horse type mentality, and she gives it her all every time she's walked down there so far.
Had a 222 in that semifinal, so put up a big score in that last round. It's a clean slate tonight, as we know, so they're going to be laying it out on the line.
Yes, they're definitely going to be pushing the envelope, trying to get everything they can out of these runs, and sometimes when you do that, sometimes some mistakes are going to happen, but listen, nobody remembers second place, and that's what everybody's shooting for, is to win this gold buckle, and they're going to push the envelope tonight, especially these young guns, and they're going to go for it and try to mark their name in history.
It's always fun to see what I would sort of consider, Wes, correct me if I'm wrong, this next generation of great trainers making these open finals and putting their names in the record books.
Yeah, it's very exciting, and they're definitely on their way to try to make their mark in the world, and they're coming very aggressively.
Now, I don't know if we can call Jesse Lennox a veteran, but we see him here a lot. This is Jesse, Silent Thunder, XIT cutting horses.
Yeah, this is a very good moving horse, really light on his feet, has a really pretty move, and moves across that cow very easily, and has a pretty way of doing it.
We see Jesse pretty regularly in these big open finals. What makes him so competitive at this level in these big aged event shows?
I think his work ethic. He works really, really hard at it. He's very passionate, very gritty about it, so he puts a lot into it.
Jesse Lennox, talk a little bit about the draw order and how that comes into play in a final like this.
It really depends on the set of cows. Every set of cows sometimes can be different. You know, sometimes you want those good draws from, you know, second to sixth or so, but, you know, the 2 times that I've won the Futurity, I've been dead last in the first and dead last in the second. So any draw is a good draw in the finals.
This is Caddy Ray. Harris Shepard is the rider.
Yeah, and this is Sam's son and Austin's brother, and this horse really gets low and really moves really, really well and really gets in that ground on those stops and has a really pretty way of doing it.
You talk about the Shepherds, a bit of a dynasty in this industry, if you will.
Absolutely.
Caddy Ray by Stevie Ray Vaughan. Third horse to work here in this open final.
Yeah, so he'll probably be for the legacy bonus as well with the Stevies.
Yeah, I talk a little bit about all of those incentives. I mean, the Futurity pays so many holes, but there are so many incentives. There's so much money up for grabs
So
tonight.
much. You have the legacy, you have the Brazos, the Chrome, I think the Ray Mink and Metallic Cat. So, I mean, there's a lot of incentives. And this is another young gun, Ryan Rapp. You know, his talent is, you know, it's a 10 out of 10 talent. His riding ability and his talent on a horse. And that kind of talent only comes around probably once every 10 years. He's a very talented individual.
Yeah, the Rapp family, the entire Rapp family, so competitive, and it has to be fun. You know, this is a Rapp horse by Don't Stop Believin'. They're great stud. I mean, that just makes the storyline so much cooler when you get to an open final on a horse that you've bred and trained and raised.
Absolutely. It's really the fulfilling about doing that, to be able to raise them and breed them and then train them and make the Futurity finals. It's the ultimate good feeling.
And we'll see Ryan again a little bit later in this set. He has not only one horse in this open final, but two. So that will be Call Me, Don't Call Me by Don't Stop Believing will be his first horse. Garrett Hampton, another one of our younger trainers, Call Me Stevie by Stevie Ray Vaughan is the horse.
Yeah, this is a very good horse, has a lot of eye appeal, very strong, gets back and forth really, really well. This horse has looked really good through all the go-arounds.
Julie and Michael Magnus are the owners. We talk a lot about the trainers, the horses. The owners play such a big role, especially when it comes to these big open finals, these aged events. This is so rewarding. You've been there. You're a two-time Futurity champion. How special is this for the owners of these horses?
You know, we wouldn't be there without the owners and them believing in us and supporting us and being behind us and backing us. And so it's a very special journey to get to that point. And they're probably more nervous than we are at times, you know, sitting in the crowds, because, you know, a lot of times we're thinking so much about the cows and how our horse is working and all those things that kind of sometimes will take away the nervousness, because we have so much in front of us that we have to think about and worry about. So we're just really focused on our job, where they're just sitting in the crowd just waiting, and, you know, so just the nervousness is building up. But we couldn't do this without them. They support us in a big way.
It will be a full house, no doubt, tonight. Taking a look now, it's the reigning Futurity champ. Talking about Kenny Platt, we saw him win the Futurity last year in a big way. He's been on fire, it seems like. Kenny's name is always at the top of these open finals. This is Blue Origin, owned by the Crown Ranch, by Once in a Blue Boon.
Yeah, and Kenny, you know, he's always been really good, but this last about a year and a half, he has been very elite. I mean, very elite. He's been on fire. And this horse has a really pretty way of doing it. He's real finessey when he does it, real pretty black horse. So, you know, he gets a lot of eye appeal and points from the judges when he's really working just like that right there. Just a lot of eye appeal, real light-footed, real finessey, real pretty doing it.
You talk about Kenny having so much momentum in this last year. You've been in the position of riding into an open final as a reigning or a former Futurity champion. Does that help? Does it add to the pressure? What do you think the mentality is for a guy like Kenny? What was your mentality?
I think the mentality is you're going down there and last year is over. It's a whole different situation. It's a different horse. You're figuring out, hey, how can I get my horse to even go to another level? You know, like a race car. You're going to push it to the red line. How can I get the most out of this horse? And now you're going to be focused on the cows. How can I get the right kind of cows to showcase this horse's ability? And then once you do that, then you're going to become an aggressive, and then you're going to he's going to want to try to win back-to-back Futurity champions that nobody else has ever done. So he's going to be coming and pushing the envelope to try to achieve that.
And Kenny is one of those guys that pushes the envelope. Watching Cooper Clark now, bomb-proof by Raising the Cash is the horse.
Yeah, and this horse is owned by SMF, and Steven has really supported Coop, and Coop is a young, very young kid, Jason Clark's son. Been doing a great job. I believe he won the intermediate and limited a couple of weeks ago here on this exact horse, and this horse is very cowy, very gritty, real quick and light-footed, and if he can kind of keep those cows that doesn't get to going too fast and he kind of keep them right there to really showcase her ability, I think he has a really good chance to really score a lot of points tonight.
Next to work, Spud Sheehan. Hey, Barbie by Raising the Cash.
And this is another guy. He's going to push the envelope right here. He's never going to just take what's there. He's going to try to be very aggressive, and he's going to, even like this run right here, he's going to be even more aggressive tonight because he's going to come with it and try to push the envelope. And this mare is really pretty and got a really pretty way of doing it, getting left and right and showcasing her kind of eye appeal on that cow. But you're going to see him even be a little more aggressive tonight because, like I said, you know, a lot of times nobody is going to remember second place. Even though it pays really good, nobody's going to. So all these guys are going to be shooting for that #1 hole to try to get as much as they can out of these horses tonight. And with sometimes you're going to see some mistakes that's going to happen as well too. But like I said, you don't remember second. But I really like the way Spud shows. He's very aggressive, and he's going to push the envelope.
So many of these women and men are going to come in and push the envelope tonight because this is the pinnacle of the sport. And when you talk about the sport, there are some names that always rise to the top as legends in the business. I think that Paul Hansma definitely qualifies as one of those.
Absolutely. Paul Hansma is a living legend, and he's another guy I said, you know, he's in his 60s now, but he, especially in his prime, he was a 10 out of 10 riding talent, still is an amazing rider, but he was one of the first guys in the cutting horse industry ever to start being very aggressive in his riding style and forcing it with his feet, and just like right here. I mean, he's forcing this right here, and he's making this horse get quicker and faster and hustling this horse, and he was one of the first guys to really just be super aggressive on a horse, and that's kind of translated through these next few generations, including myself and other people, of trying to force the runs as well too.
That's what I was going to ask you, Wes. I've watched you show enough that I already know the answer to this. You are kind of a lay it on the line, push it type of guy. When it comes to these finals, we're going to see a little bit of both. We're going to see some of these guys that come in and make smart, solid, I don't want to say safe, but business runs. And then we're going to see some of these guys and women come out and just really lay it out there. What do you think, in your opinion, what's the best way to do it here in this open final?
I think you really have to understand your horse, and you have to really know your horse's limits. It's kind of like a race car. You know, like you've got to be able to push the turns on the red line and know where that car is going to lose control. Okay, so now you have to know that in your horse and that horse's weakness. But now you're ready and you have the feel of that horse. So now you're going to push that horse to that red line to try to get everything that you can out of it.
Watching Ryan Rapp dragging it on his second horse in this set. Another Don't Stop Believin' for the Rapp family.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, Ryan, he's a 10 out of 10 talent. He's got a bright future ahead of him. A young guy. He can, anything's possible when he walks down to the herd.
Wes, what can you tell me about this guy?
Well, I know this guy pretty well. This is my brother Bo. He's 3 years older than me, so we've competed since we were kids, and he's an ultimate competitor as well too. He's very smart and very efficient how he puts a run together, and he usually cuts his cows really well. This horse has a lot of look in front of the cow, really bright, really cowy, really beautiful horse, and it's out of the Great Mare Blackish. And he's in the Ray Mink incentive tonight too, so I think he's already got $100,000 for the Ray Mink incentive, and now he's got the Legacy incentive, and he's got the Brazos incentive, and then obviously if he does good, just the regular NCHA.
Right.
So he's got a chance at a lot of money tonight, and he's an ultimate competitor too, and he's going to show and be very aggressive and try to get everything he can out of this run tonight.
Well, there you have it. There are the first 11 horses to work in the Open Futurity Final. We will be back with set number 1. Keep it right here. I'm Courtney Dehoff alongside Wes Gallion.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we welcome you here this evening once again, we are just moments away from kicking it off right here tonight. As we welcome each and every one of you to the John Justin Arena, the 2025 Metallic Cat World Championship Futurity. Folks, we have endured 27 days of cutting action right here as we have whittled it down to the final 23 open horses to determine this year's Futurity champion. It's the pinnacle of the sport here on a Saturday evening. The hottest ticket in Cowtown tonight as we have our judges make their way to the stands here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're proud to introduce to you our judges for today's NCHA Futurity, a panel with decades of experience. This evening, we'd like you to say hello to Mr. Rock Headline. Originally from Idaho, Rock now resides in Wilton, California. He's judged Triple Crown events 12 times, holding over 200 judging credits, and been serving the sport as a judge for 35 years. In box number 2 tonight, we do want to say hello to Jason Swain. Jason is originally from Michigan and now resides in Iredell, Texas. He's judged 10 Triple Crown events, an impressive 460 credits, and been judging for 25 years. Judge number 3 tonight, Bill Pierce, hails from Ohio, now living in Canton, Mississippi. He's judged 10 Triple Crown events, more than 260 judging credits, and over 20 years with experience. Say hello to Bill Pierce for us this evening. Joining us in box number 4, Dave Stewart. Originally from North Carolina, he now resides in Fort Worth, Texas. He's judged 12 times here in the big house, holds over 225 credits, and over 20 years of judging experience. Mr. Dave Stewart. Judge number 5 is Gavin Jordan. Born in Australia, Gavin now makes his home in Weatherford, Texas, as he's judged the 15 Triple Crown events, earned more than 250 credits, and brings 25 years of judging experience. Folks, give a warm welcome here for your panel of judges: Rock Headland, Jason Swain, Bill Pierce, Dave Stewart, and Gavin Jordan, whose expertise and dedication ensure the highest standard in today's competition. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are set and ready this evening as we are going to bring you set number 1. It is going to be draw number 1, Alcohol You Later. This one's by Metallic Cat. He's bred by Crockett Sand and Gravel, owned by C4 Cutting Horses, Rocky Point, North Carolina. Gavin Callahan, Millsap, Texas, is your man aboard. Jesse Lennox, you're going to follow. Caddy Ray, Harris Shepard, be getting ready for us. Folks, it is draw number 1. It is time to shine right here in your Open Futurity Finals.
And everybody shoots for all year long, and I'm very excited to watch this.
We started with over 600 horses. There is roughly a 4% chance that a rider will make this open final. And you and I were sitting here, we were watching some of the previews, and you said sort of to yourself, it is so hard to even get to this open final.
Absolutely. It's a ton of stress and a lot of pressure, which pressure is a privilege, and we're all blessed to have that kind of pressure.
We're watching Gavin Callahan, one of our young guns, riding in. He was a 222 in the semis. I'll Call You Later is the horse. Now, Wes, so many of us wonder, what does it take to find a great Futurity horse? Tell us quickly the story of how this ownership team came to get this horse.
Well, Kevin Smith was at the Western Bloodstock sale, and actually on his computer, and he clicked on there, and he clicked on to buy the horse, and he didn't even know he clicked to hit the button, and he ended up buying it without knowing.
What a good mistake that was.
This is a great start right here. This is a great start. Great cow right here, great cow. Horse is being very cowy, very gritty. He's pushing the horse very well. This is starting as good as you want it to start. Great place to quit. That's a great place to start right there. We're off to a good start.
Gavin is just 21 years old. We saw him win the 2023 NCHA Metallic Cat World Championship Limited Open, but it's so fun to see him here in this open final.
For sure. Very talented young man. There you go. Get up, get up. Hand down. Great. Here we go. Have this cow, need this cow to come back to him a little bit right here. Let this cow draw. He's breaking this cow down. There we go. We're breaking this cow down. Degree of difficulty is high right here. Just hang in there, hang in there. Good place to quit right there.
I see you take a deep breath.
That's right.
Wes.
You're rooting for him, and that's how he's got to hang in there and just keep spurring and stay against that cow tough. Now we need to finish strong. We got 30 seconds. We need to come on and cut.
Taking his time here, trying to find something that he likes. The first horse in the set, lots of options.
Absolutely. They're all options, and there we go, getting up there and being aggressive. A great cut right there. Get his hand down in perfect time. This is a great cow right here. There we go. Come on. There we go. Hang in there.
What a great way to start this open final. That is Gavin Callahan. At just 21 years old, would you almost say the future of the sport, one of our future up-and-coming trainers, kicking it off with the 215?
Absolutely. The future looks bright with this young group of trainers. That was, that first cow was textbook, exactly how you wanted it. The second cow was just a little too much cow, just a little too strong, a little too tough, and that kind of resorts in the score right there.
Taking a look at the replay here, Wes.
Yeah, that first cow was textbook. This is the cow that kind of was just a little bit too much cow. But that first cow was textbook, exactly how you wanted it to go.
Of course, thanks to the 4-6s for bringing us that replay. For anyone at home that's watching or anyone here in the Sale Pavilion with us, these are the best 3-year-olds in the world, right? Explain to everyone watching how it works, because these horses have never been shown until they step foot in Fort Worth.
That's right. They've never been shown, so they've never been under these bright lights. You try to take them to pre-works and try to coliseums to try to practice them, but you still don't know how they're going to show once you get down here. And so to make it 3 or 4 rounds, it's a big deal.
Taking a look now at Jesse Lennox, a $3.1 million rider. He's an Open Hall of Famer. Silent Thunder is the gelding by Kit Kat Sugar for XIT cutting horses. I talked to Jesse earlier. He said this horse was very easy to train, thanks in part to Paco with Crown Ranch. And we have to talk a little bit about how important those 2-year-old guys are, because they really set the foundation for these great horses for these trainers.
Absolutely. It's probably 50%. The 3-year-old year is 50%, the 2-year-old year is 50%, so both are extremely important.
He said this is a really low, strong horse. One of the coolest qualities he said is this horse really thinks in the turn, Wes. Talk us through this.
Yeah, this is a great moving horse, very light with his feet, can really get across that cow really well and nice. Starting off good right here. Just waiting on that cow to kind of take a hold of us a little bit. There we go. There we go, good.
Jesse is no stranger to these big open finals, and anyone who knows Jesse knows how badly this guy wants to win. He is always coming to win, and he said, I think that this horse is one of those horses that wants to win as badly as I do. Heart is such an important thing with these horses. You can have all the talent in the world, Wes, and you know this, but if these horses don't have the heart, they won't make it to this level.
Absolutely. Your hand is down on these horses, and it's all them. It's like a bird dog. They're cowy, gritty. They're going to take over and do the work for you. And now we need to get up here and we need to get some working time. It needs to be a good cow right here. We've got to get some working time right here. Work this cow for a little bit. There you go. There you go. Get in there. Get aggressive. There you go. There we go. Good.
You can hear the crowd coming
alive.
alive.
There we go. Stay in there. There you go. Right there. Okay, turn around. Now we need to chip something off. We need to cut. Be aggressive right here.
Jesse gives a huge shout out to XIT, Drew, the entire team there. Been so supportive. That partnership. Here we go.
There we go. There we go. Come on. Get on over there. Get on over there.
That is Jesse Lennox. Silent Thunder by Kit Kat Sugar is the horse. The number 2 man to work in this open final. Always has a smile on his face. We will await the score as he rides out. A 2:13 for Jesse Lennox. Take a look at the replay here shortly, Wes. One of the things that you mentioned during Jesse's run, working time.
That's
so it's
right.
2.5 minutes. How long do you actually want to be working a cow?
Your mentality is when you're crossing that timeline, you want to be at a high walk, and you need to be on a mission, and we're going to get as much working time as we possibly can to have a chance at going after this gold buckle. We've got to be aggressive. We've got to come after it, and get a lot of working time, and hopefully you can pick some good cows that can really showcase your horse's ability.
Let's talk about the cows. We've got a good view here of the herd as we wait our next rider. You sit in the box, you watch cows, you take notes. What are you guys looking for?
Well, you're trying to make sure that a cow, when you kind of bump it, or the herd settler bumps it, it gets off of you, but then it kind of stops and looks back at you and has a good feel. Some of the ones you bump and then they just take off running, they're just going to run all over the show pen. So you just try to narrow down your feel, and sometimes you're going to be wrong. It's kind of like a poker game. You're going to have some misses.
And it sort of depends, Wes, correct me if I'm wrong, on your horse. Some horses really need a cow that challenges them, and some it's the opposite.
Absolutely, yeah. You just got to know your horse's strengths and try to cut the right cows that showcase your horse's abilities.
This is Harris Shepherd. Caddy Ray by Stevie Ray Vaughan is the horse owner and rider, Harris Shepherd.
Yeah, I know Sam, he's going to be looking down, watching this run tonight, and hopefully he can. This horse got a lot of eye appeal. I love the way this horse can get across the cow and really stop into that ground really well. He really gets in that ground really well, so hopefully he can get out here and get this horse showed. Red Mont. There we go. Starting good. Come on. There we go. There we go. Good.
What do you like right here, Wes?
I like the way that horse is hunting that cow. This cow is a very good cow. This is a great cow. Working this horse really good. That horse is getting really low and doing his thing. That was a really good start right now.
Of course, it is a full house inside the John Justin Arena tonight. You can hear the crowd. This is such a fun event. I mean, like you said, it's the Super Bowl, it's the Masters, it's the whatever event you want to compare it to. This is truly the pinnacle of this sport.
Yeah, when we start breaking 2-year-olds, this is what we're aiming for. The end of that 3-year-old year, this is the biggest show of these horses' lives.
And you talk about the pre-works, you try to set this show scenario, but it is so hard to recreate the noise, all the things that are happening. So it's really, you're putting a lot on a 3-year-old's shoulders.
Absolutely. It's a lot of pressure. You've got to be confident in what you're doing. There we go. Get to that stop. That's good. Good. Come on, Harris. There you go. There you go. Great. I love the way this horse is staying low and hitting that stop. Doing good. Come on, Harris. Stay in there. That a boy. Good.
This has been fun to watch so far. 30 seconds. What's the mindset here?
Well, we need to cut. We need to cut right now. We've got to be aggressive. And that a boy. That was great. Great cut. Great cut. Come on, guys. There you go. Good. There we go. Great. Good. Cow's kind of run out on him a little bit there at the end.
Harris Shepherd, Caddy Ray by Stevie Ray Vaughan is the horse. He is the owner and the rider out of Alabama. Harris, of course, back in 2020, the NCHA Metallic Cat World Championship Limited Open champion. Going to be a 213 with a review.
Yeah, that review, they're probably going to look at it because that third cow, with about 4 or 5 seconds, the cow's kind of run out on him, so they're going to check and see if that was a flush or not.
Okay. Explain what that means to those of us watching here in the arena, here at home.
He probably got a little too close to that herd and started to mess up the herd where the herd started to run out, so they're actually going to review it and look at it just to make sure that he did do that. And if he did do that, then they're going to penalize him. And if he didn't do that, then they're probably going to give him points back.
Absolutely. Thank you for the explanation. And Wes, there are so many variables in this sport. If you've ever looked at a judge's sheet, there are so many things that they are looking for.
There's so many ways to lose at this sport. There's a lot of variables.
You said it. Yes, yes. Here is Ryan Rapp, a $2 million rider. This will be his first of 2 horses in this first set. He is one of our young guns, 24 years old, out of Weatherford, Texas. He comes from a dynasty family, the Rapp family. And this is special. This is Don't Call Me the Mayor, owned by the Rapp family, out of their great stud, Don't Stop Believin'.
Yeah, and I believe Ryan, he's probably going to, be a little aggressive right here. He's probably going to push the envelope a little bit more than we've seen. And this is sit back and watch and enjoy.
Yeah, Ryan is one of those that's always aggressive. He's always fun to watch. And I would say he kind of lays it out on the line, just like you said, especially in these big open finals.
There we go, starting good. Need this cow to take a hold of us a little bit better right here. It's just trying this. It's a little too hard. Lost his right stirrup right there.
Only Ryan Rapp would not be faced by that.
Yeah, well, sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
Everything gets to going fast down there, and those things can happen from time to time.
Got to give a shout out to his mom, Marianne. Ryan told me earlier he wasn't even supposed to ride this horse. This was supposed to be Marianne's horse. As you know, each trainer can only show 2 horses in the Futurity, and he said the horse I was supposed to ride got hurt. Mom let me ride this one, so a shout out to Marianne for putting him on a great horse.
Yeah, mother's love to her son. He may try to work this cow to the buzzard right here, I think. It's going to make it a 2-cow cutting.
Going to put his hand down with about 35.
Yeah, we're going to probably try to work this cow to the buzzard if we can. Looks like a good cow, starting off really good. Yeah, it's a really good cow right here. It's taking hold of this horse really well. This is the kind of cows that you want to cut.
Looks like he's going to stay on, just like you said, Wes. Ryan Rapp, Don't Call Me is the horse by Don't Stop Believin'. Wes, so we know that you don't have to cut 3. You can cut 3, you can cut 2. What goes into the decision process there? What was going through his mind? Obviously, you guys, trainers, are very well aware of the clock, but how do you make that game time decision?
Well, sometimes you quit your first cow. You might have took too long to cut your first cow, and then all of a sudden your second cow maybe in the middle of the herd or on the back gate, and you're going to get it. So it takes a lot of time to get those off there. So you just got to know, hey, we're at a certain time. We're going to have to make this a 2-cow cutting. And hopefully that cow was good. And that cow started really, really good. And then it just about those last 5, 6 seconds kind of fizzled out a little bit on him.
We talk about the clock. Of course, Ryan, none of these riders are out there by themselves. We're getting a good look right now at the help. Talk to me about how important your herd holders are and your turn back guys are, because you don't cut without them.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you're the quarterback walking down there on this horse, they're your offensive line and, wide receivers you're about to throw to. So they're very important. Finding the cows, helping you out, picking the cows. It's a big team effort. And this is a really nice horse right here. I really like this horse through the go-rounds. Has a lot of look, a lot of eye appeal. Strong horse, moves really pretty. I think this horse has a really good chance to do some really good things tonight.
This is Garrett Hampton. Call Me Stevie by Stevie Ray Vaughan is the horse for owners Julie and Michael Magnus. Was a 220.5 in that semifinal, so coming off a big, solid score there.
There we go.
What's he looking for here?
It looks like the little yellow. Oh, he's switching. He's going to the black.
Black on top.
There we go. That herd kind of rolled back to him. He's going to cut that creamy, and then he switched. There we go. Good stop. There we go. Good. There we go. Easy does it. Get over there. There we go. Getting settled in there. Good. Cow's working him really good. Everything's going really good.
Got a good start to the run for Garrett.
Same thing right here. We're working. This time's working against us.
You can see him talking to his help. You can see the focus on his face. We have such good camera angles. We're in the sale pavilion, but it feels like we're there, Wes.
Oh, absolutely. There we go. Great cut. Love, great cut right there. Little yellow white tail. There we go. Good start. There we go. Great cow right here. Come on, ride him across. There, the boy. There we go. There we go. Work this cow. Really good. That a boy. Real good right there. Come on, Garrett. We got us a good run going right here. Come on, Garrett.
30 seconds. Cowboy Trailer Sales bringing us the herd cam. Here we go.
Get up there and get clean. That a boy. Great cut. Really good cut again. Really good finish right there. Really good finish. Great job showing right there. That was a really good run.
A good look at the crowd in John Justin. It is a completely sold out house here in Fort Worth tonight. Great job there, Garrett Hampton. Call Me Stevie by Stevie Ray Vaughan. How about that? A 220. Nice work there.
Yeah, it's going to be a great paycheck right there for him.
Let's talk a little bit about the paychecks because, Wes, every single hole is going to walk away with a pretty substantial paycheck, and that's one of the great things about this Futurity.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, just like that score right there, that's going to finish really, really well tonight. It's probably not going to win it, but it's going to be a great paycheck tonight.
Yeah, down to that 23rd hole, going to pay $28,000. So we're not going to see these guys ride out, right? They're going to fight till the end no matter what happens. You also talked a little bit about incentives. We know your brother Bo, we're going to see him a little bit later. Those incentives are huge, and there is so much money to be won. You know how much money is to be won at this Futurity, not only NCHA here with the final, but with those incentives.
Absolutely, and that last horse was a Stevie, so he's probably going to be in the legacy bonus. And it just pays amazing, these incentives. It's a huge blessing that they give back the way they do for us.
Absolutely. Hundreds of thousands of dollars up for grabs just on the incentive side of things. And then, of course, all 23 holes going to pay tonight. Talking about a man that knows how to get it done, who has been on fire. He is the reigning Open Futurity champion. We saw Kenny Platt last year ride out as the Futurity champion on Too Hot to Tag. We see him tonight on Blue Origin.
Yeah, and Kenny, this last year and a half, been extremely elite. He's always been great, but this last year and a half, he has been on fire. And this is a very pretty horse, the way it works and moves. Real finessey, real pretty. Kenny, he's going to be aggressive. He's going to get up there and show and get a lot of working time, and he's going to try to defend his crown.
Kenny's one of those guys that's so calm, cool, collected. I remember when I did his champion interview last year, I said, "You are the Open Futurity champion. Is this life-changing?" And he said, "Oh, not really. You know, this is just my job." I mean, he's just one of those guys, right?
Absolutely. Great cut, great start to this cow. Hung just a little bit coming out of now. This cow's really trying him now. Just kind of hung in the ground there just a time or two.
Wes, walk us through what we're seeing. Is he just getting hung up in the ground?
Well, what happens, that cow just really snapped him real quick and really gave him a real quick, you know, these are young horses, these 3-year-old horses. They've not been experienced in this situation. And so that cow really gave him a couple little quick dirty moves, and he just got hung up in that ground just a little bit and wouldn't be able to recover over there.
It's so easy to watch this Open final and forget that these are 3-year-olds that have never been shown.
Absolutely. This is a good cow right here. This horse is really getting left and right now. That's great stop. There we go, Kenny.
I feel like this is textbook Kenny Platt right there.
Yeah, it is.
It's got a little bit of time left, 40 seconds. What's the move here?
Well, I think he's just going to try to come and cut. You know, I don't think, you know, after that first cow we're going to have a winning run, but he's trying to get the best check that he can possibly get right now.
Try to pop that black baldy off
That was
top.
a great job getting cut. Great cow right here. This is a great cow. This is kind of the cows that you want to cut right here. And that's the thing about cutting. Sometimes everything's hindsight. If you could have started with this cow, might have eased that horse's nerves on that first cow. But like everything's always easy in hindsight on cutting.
Right. It's easy when you're sitting here.
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't it?
It's difficult down there, and that's the name of the game. Sometimes when it looks really easy there, that's the point of greatness.
Absolutely, absolutely. 208 for Kenny Platt. Blue Origin by Once in a Blue Boon was the horse for Crown Ranch. We will see Kenny, I'm sure, in many more big open finals. Let's watch the replay.
Oh, absolutely. You see, right? Yeah, and he's going to go on and do really well on this horse. That horse looked great in the go-rounds, and that horse got a bright future ahead of him. That horse finished great on that Black Baldy. Kenny's going to go on and win a lot of money on that horse.
Absolutely. Taking a look now at our next rider, the 7th horse set to work in this first set of your open final. It's going to be Cooper Clark. Bomb-proof by Raising the Cash is the mare. You want to talk about a kid that has had some things going in the right direction for him. He won the Intermediate Open earlier this week on this horse with a 221 in that final. He says this mare tries so hard each time, and he says that's what sets her apart in the barn. He, of course, a huge shout out to Adon Banuelos for putting him on these great horses. I talked to him on the phone earlier, Wes, and it was really cute. I said, congratulations, your first open final. And he says, I cannot believe this. I'm in an open final with my heroes. And it's just so cool to see.
Oh, and this kid deserves it. This kid puts in so many hours and works so hard. He really deserves it. He really has. And Stephen Feiner owns this horse and is really helping and back Coop and Jason Clark's son. And we're really rooting for the best of it.
Yeah, he gave a huge shout out to Stephen and Jess and the whole team. And he also thanked God for the opportunity. He said, I thought maybe someday I would make an open final, but I had no idea that it would be this soon.
Yeah, and like I said, he's put in a lot of work to get here.
The crowd already likes it.
Great cut right there. There we go. Going good right now. This is going really good. Great cow right here. This is a great cow. Attaboy, Coop. Come on, hang in there. Attaboy. Great start. Great start.
Cooper Clark looking like a veteran at just 20 years old in this big open final. He also won the Limited Open on a different horse for the 1027 Ranch. So, this kid has had a great month here at this show.
Yeah, for sure. Now we're fighting our time a little bit. We're kind of winding down on time, so we've got to come on up here. But he's making a great cut. Red Baldy. Great cut. Looks like a great cow. There we go. Come on, Coop, get over there. Attaboy, hang in there, Coop. Come on. Really good. We're having a really good run right now.
Good start here. Taking a look at the clock, Wes. Does he need to just kind of pop something off the top here?
Yes. Got to be aggressive. We got a really good run going. We got to finish strong.
Here we go.
Got to finish strong. Great right here. This is big time. This is really good. Big time right here. Getting just a little pushy right there at the end.
Great job. Cooper Clark, bomb-proof is the horse. Yeah. How about the Sale Pavilion? Y'all can cheer and hoop and holler in here too. Yeah. We should have told them that earlier. Great job for Cooper Clark.
That was a great job by Coop. I'm proud of him right there. That score, he got docked a little bit because that third cow, that horse started pushing up towards that cow just a little bit. And, I thought before that we probably had from a 219 to a 22, probably right in that ballpark of a run, in my opinion. But I believe the judges got it correct. He started pushing up just a little bit on that third cow. But, boy, he showed amazing. And for his first time in the finals, his mom's cheering right there. They couldn't be more proud. And that's going to walk away with an amazing check right there.
Yeah, I think anyone that's watched Cooper all week in the limited and the intermediate and tonight in the open, he's a child, Wes. He's a kid, and to come in with that mentality and just to be so strong and confident, that's a name and a kid that we're going to see again and again and again. Good luck, my friend.
Absolutely, yeah.
Getting set next, we will be looking for Spud Sheehan. Wes, let's talk a little bit as we wait for him to ride in. Let's talk about the judging, because you mentioned it. It's a 5-judge system. Just explain a little bit about how it works.
Yeah, they're going to drop the high, and then they're going to drop the low. And so you take the 3 scores in the middle, and everybody's sometimes got a different opinion, but, they've continued just like us as trainers. They continue to get better year to year and try to just get the right kind of winners and so far they've gotten everything correct.
And I think it was really cool. I don't think you and I had ever seen it. For the first time, we got to meet the judges on the broadcast, which is really cool. And these are judges 25, 30, 20 years. These guys have been there, done that. They've also shown their trainers. And I think it's really cool that we got to recognize them.
Oh, absolutely. And I tell you, they're kind of like officials. Sometimes they get a bad, like everybody's, like saying,
oh,
like
yeah,
officials
everyone has
do.
an opinion.
Yeah, everybody's got an opinion. So, you got to have thick skin to be a judge. And so far, they've done an amazing job tonight.
This is Hey Barbie by Raising the Cash. Spud Sheehan is the rider for Iron Rose Ranch. He was a 218 in the semis. Let's see what he can do in the open.
I like that great cut right there. He's being aggressive, getting up there. Let's get a hold of this cow now. Looks like a great cow. Starting really good right here. Great cow. This is the kind of cow you want to cut right here. Ooh, just kind of, and that's a perfect example of what I was talking about is these trainers are going for that gold buckle. So that's him pushing the envelope and being aggressive because he wants to win. And we just got a tick too aggressive right there and just kind of shot past that cow. And then that cow saw that opening and just run us over right there. But listen, that's a winner's mentality right there. You're not just taking what's coming and getting a nice check. You're going for the gold buckle and you're trying to win this thing.
That's what I was going to ask you. As a 2-time Futurity champion yourself, I know that you typically lay it out on the line. Do you think that's kind of what you need to do tonight?
Oh, absolutely. There's no way you can't win without doing that. You've got to come aggressive, and he came aggressive, and he did all the right things right there. That cow just got a little close, and the mare just, like I said, these horses are babies, and he was getting aggressive, and then the mare just got past it just a little bit right there, but he was doing the right things, in my opinion, of pushing the envelope to try to go get the best run he can possibly get.
He's going to go ahead and try to put the best run that he can together because, again, we talk about that payout. It's going to pay through all 23 holes. We took 23 horses back because we had some ties. It took a 217.5 to make it back. And then you have all the incentives as well. So you're going to see these guys ride to the buzzer no matter what.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to keep that mind. Even though you're frustrated and a little defeated right now, you got to keep getting the best check you can possibly get.
Doesn't have a lot of time left. Going to try to pop something off here and just finish this run.
And like I said, this is a great mare, and Spud's going to go on and do really, really well with this mare next year. Mare's very classy, very pretty. And like I said, to get this far, it takes a lot. And he, in my opinion, did the right thing. He pushed the envelope a little bit, tried to get what he could get out of it.
And we're going to see these guys continue to push that envelope tonight. Now, as we get further down in the set, how does the mentality, how does the mindset change, right? Because the fresh cows are getting fewer and far between. How does that change sort of the pressure, the mindset? I mean, you've been there.
Yeah, it's going to change because you're going to be a little bit worried about some of the cows.
Right.
But your mindset has to be the same. It's like, hey, let's go get these cows and let's be aggressive. And this horse right here, Paul Hansma, had an amazing run last night. And I believe that this horse has a chance to win tonight. And Paul has all the ability and all the talent in the world to make it happen. This horse looked great, and I'm very excited to watch this run right now. And this guy's, a living legend.
One of the absolute greats in the business, Alakazam, is the gelding by Metallic Rebel. I talked to Paul earlier. He said, this horse is just like a playful little Energizer bunny. He said, playful. He said, not in a bad way. He said, he's just a really, really happy horse. He said he always wants to play and work. He said his ears are always up. And he said he's just been a really good little horse to train. And then he told me, he said, this is one of those kind of horses that makes me look good. And I thought to myself, well, you're Paul Hansma. You look good on a lot of horses. But to his point, he said, I'm nothing without the horse.
Yeah, that's right. But with saying that, it's a great horse, and this guy will push the envelope. I promise you this.
Talk a little bit about the owners too, and how important that ownership relationship is. You know, these owners, for example, Gary and Michelle Reichert, they have been dear friends and clients to Paul for many years, and he said it is so fun to see them here and have this success.
Yeah, they have a great relationship, and it's been great for him. Just get a clean cut right here. There you go. Oh. Gosh dang, that's what happens sometimes.
We hate to see that happen. Now I'm going to mute you, Wes. You may notice that Wes is leaving. It's not because he's upset, but Wes has to go and help Brother Bo. One of the cool things, as all of you know watching at home and all of you in the sale pavilion, this is one of the unique professional sports where your competitors also help you. We're going to go ahead and watch Paul finish out this run. Of course, that payout, again, these guys have a lot up for grabs still. They're going to try to get the biggest check that they can for these owners. Can hear the applause there for Paul Hansema. Wes told me if there was a Mount Rushmore of cutting trainers, Paul Hansema would be on it. He's one of those guys that I have never heard anyone say a bad word about. He truly is, as Wes said, a living legend in the business. We love to see him in this open final. Taking a look at the replay, big shout out to the 4-6s, of course, for bringing us that. A little tough luck for Paul tonight. But we will see him again. He's a $6.5 million rider. He's in the Open Hall of Fame. Paul was actually honored earlier in the show with the Zane Schulte Award. He's just one of the greats in the business. We have 2 horses set to work. We'll be getting ready for Ryan Rapp on his second horse. Ryan, of course, a $2 million rider. Caught a quick glimpse of Dad riding into that back corner. Of course, Phil Rapp. There's a look at Ryan. Again, the horse owned by the Rapp family out of their stud, Don't Stop Believin'. He was a 219 in the semis. Ryan told me the horse was bred by Lori Gale. They bought him as a yearling, and he said this horse just quickly made his way to the top. Wes told me earlier, he said, you know, Ryan Rapp, he said, is truly one of the best technical riders that he's ever seen. He said he is going to, quote, be a big problem for a very long time. Ryan, fairly young, just 24 years old, but he's grown up doing this. Going to work right here. Ryan is in the non-pro Hall of Fame. He was inducted back in 2021. He was the 2025 Beach Fork Super Stakes non-pro champion. He was the 2023 NRR Cat King Cole Super Stakes champion. I mean, he's been to the winner's circle time and time again. The Rapp family, so many good horses. They have a great breeding program, a great training program, and I know the whole family is excited to see him here tonight. Going to take this one to the buzzer. Going to be 2 cows for Ryan. That is Ryan Rapp dragging it by Don't Stop Believin'. Is the horse. When you think about this Open Futurity final, there was just over 600 horses at the beginning when this show started over a month ago. If you do the math, 23 horses, there is just a 4% chance that a rider will make this Open final. And for Ryan Rapp to have not one, but 2 horses in this final is quite an accomplishment. Probably not the run that he wanted today, but you've got to give that kid a whole lot of credit. The 4-6s replay. It will be Bo Gallion who we are looking for next. Hopefully brother Wes made it down there. It is not as easy as you think to run up and down those stairs in spurs. A huge shout out to the trainers that help us do this broadcast. It is a volunteer job, so we are so thankful. Taking a look at the crowd here inside the John Justin Arena. A beautiful night in Fort Worth to watch the best 3-year-olds in the sport of cutting. Bo Gallion is, of course, the older brother of Wes. I heard Wes tell someone earlier he was 13 years older. He is only 3 years older. Bo was quick to correct that. So this is older brother Bo. Wes and Bo have been competing alongside each other their entire lives. Minkish by Metallic Ray Mink is the horse. Bo is a $5.8 million trainer, and he is a Futurity champion, the 2008 Futurity champion. He's a Hall of Famer. He's in the non-pro and open Hall of Fame. The Gallions, one of those great cutting families. We saw him down here in the Sail Pavilion during the rider intros. In typical Bo Gallion fashion, he was calm, cool, collected, and ready to go. Cowboy Trailer Sales bringing us the great herd cam. So thankful for all of the people behind the scenes that make this broadcast so great. Can hear the crowd coming alive. This is a cool looking horse. He's beautiful. Good start for Bo Gallion, one of those horses with a lot of expression and just fun to watch. He was a 220.5 in the first go, a 218.5 in the second go, and a 219 in the semis, so super consistent. Looking to finish that out strong here in this big open final. Can hear the crowd. They like what they see. Got 30 seconds left on the clock. Got a good run started here for Bo Gallion, a former Futurity champion. How about that? Taking a look at the crowd. They like what they see. Got a little standing ovation there. Bo Gallion, Minkish by Metallic Ray Mink is the horse. There is Wes, my partner in crime. As we await the score, how about that? 226, yeah. A round of applause in the Sail Pavilion and the John Justin Arena. 226 for the last horse to work in set number 1 of your Open Futurity final. Those galleons, they know how to come in that last position in those sets and lay down some big runs. But it is not over until it is over, because we have a whole nother set of horses. So don't go anywhere. Keep it right here, and we will be back with your preview for set number 2.
As you know, a two-time Futurity champion who's been in that last hole, though. It's not over until the very last horse. We have a whole nother set. We're going to kick off set number 2 with a man who's been here many times, Adon Banuelos. Would she be a rising, owned by the 1027 Ranch?
Yeah, and Adon, he's very smart and very efficient, probably as smart and efficient as anybody there is in the sport about putting a run together. And he's going to do everything he can to really put this run together tonight and make the most of his run. So he usually is, like I said, very smart, very efficient on how he presents a run to the judges. And no matter the tough situation that he's in, he can always usually come through and be very efficient.
And we know Todd and Elizabeth Quirk, the 1027 Ranch, are so excited to have this Bad Boon Rising in this Open final. They're so heavily involved in the NCHA and show themselves, and have had such a great partnership with Adon and his team.
Yes, for sure. And I believe this mare was in the sale last year and sold for pretty good money. And she seems like she's a very cowy, very quick-footed mare, real snappy in front of that cow, getting back and forth. So she has a lot of eye appeal, and he's probably going to try to cut some softer cows because that's her strength right there. It's just being really quick and snappy, getting back and forth and showcase her ability right there to get more points.
Lee Francois will be second to work in set number 2, Sisters on the Wagon by Metallic Cat.
Yeah, Lee, he's been second here at the Futurity a couple times, so he's definitely trying to knock on that door and trying to get that gold buckle. And this mare is really cowy, really gritty little mare, and I feel like he's going to be trying to come with everything he has to try to get that gold buckle.
And Lee and his wife, part of the ownership team, Barwick and Francois, which also makes this special. Like you talk about, the Rapp family and some of those we see coming in, riding horses, that they're part of that ownership team. It's just sort of a cherry on top, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's a very difficult thing to own a horse and make the Futurity finals. It's, there's over 600 head of horses, and they've never been shown before, and now they're down to 20 head of horses, and it's very difficult.
The best 3-year-olds in the world is what we're watching. Third horse to work in the second set, James Mitchell.
Yeah, this is a really good cow right here. This horse has a lot of good look right in front of this cow right here. I think this horse's strength is having a cow like this just kind of move back and forth. Just a lot of eye appeal, really pretty. He's probably going to have to do everything he can to make sure he gets up out of that herd a little, far, so that way he can showcase that horse's ability on moving back and forth in front of that cow right there.
Yeah, Smooth Metallica by Smooth Talkin' Style is the horse.
And I think that's another thing too. You're going to see people, to really put out that big run, you're going to have to get out a little farther, and you put a little bit more pressure, but it gives yourself more room to showcase your horse's ability. When we get too close to that herd, the riders will have to start pushing their horse toward the cow.
Right.
And when you do that, you kind of change the way that horse moves a little bit.
Now we talk about huge storylines, and this has really been the talk of the town when it comes to not only the Open but the non-pro. She's already won the non-pro final on this horse, Colt 45. Allie Good is so good.
I've watched every video from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and I've been part of it in the 2000s and teens and now. And there has never been a horse and a rider up to this point that has dominated a Futurity the way that these two have. And we are witnessing history as it is going right now, and I'm really pulling for her right now because this is cutting and you never know what can happen. But this duo has been incredible, and we've never seen a duo this magnitude at the Futurity in the history of this Futurity.
One that we are all so excited to watch. Allie trained this horse, and this horse is owned by the family. I mean, it could literally be a Cinderella story.
Oh, it's absolutely, and she would be the first too to win the non-pro Futurity and win the Open Futurity in the same exact year. So that's what she's going for tonight, is to make history. I mean, she has completely ran away with the field so far to this point and dominated this Futurity so far to this point, but now she has to finish, and that's the hard part.
She's been stone cold up to this point, so we are rooting for Allie.
And she's been showing, you know, first time she ever showed was she was 4 years old.
Yeah.
So she's got it in her. She's gritty, she's passionate, she's been doing it since she was 4. So I believe in everything that she can pull it off.
We're excited to watch Allie. Watching now, you talk about the Mount Rushmores, the legends in the business. Let's talk about Lloyd Cox.
Yeah, Lloyd Cox is on the Mount Rushmore of cutting horses. You know, I'd say him, Austin Shepard, Matt Gaines, and Billy Freeman. They're on the Mount Rushmore right there. And this guy, he's a living legend. He's very smart, very efficient in how he puts these runs together, and just very savvy in a herd. His strength is really just getting in that herd and cutting these cows and making decisions on these cows. He's always fun to watch the way he can manipulate a herd and make the right decisions on cutting cows.
New Rebellion is the horse for owner Kathleen Moore. We see so many good horses in this final for Kathleen, and we're excited to watch Lloyd do what Lloyd does best.
Exactly.
Let's go now to Casey Green. Platinum Memories by Metallic Cat is the horse.
And this mare, she's got a lot of look, and Casey's done a great job with this mare. This mare is very prepared and very ready, very solid, very cowy mare, very gritty, and has a lot of look. And this mare has handled a lot of tough cows, and Casey's very confident on this horse, and he's going to come out tonight and be very confident on this horse because she's handled a lot of tough cows here at this show, and she doesn't waver. She's just right there for him every single go-round, and I believe that, you know, he's going to come out and try to be aggressive and get what he can get tonight.
Wes, Casey's about, give or take, halfway through this set. I want to know a little bit about the mindset for someone like you, draw order. So we're about halfway through. Does that help? Does that hurt? Does it change the mindset? I know you talk a lot, it depends on the horse and your horse's limits, but what is sort of the mentality as far as where you are in the draw?
Well, you kind of start getting to that second tier of cows. You know, like you're going to have, you know, probably about 10 or 12 cows that's your favorite cows. Mm-hmm. Now you're going to start getting into that second tier of cows that, you know, are kind of more risky. I think that cow can be good, but, you know, it's been a little riskier, so now you're getting into that second tier of cows. And so that's going to be, you know, definitely a mental thing for him to try to get into figuring out the best cows to suit him.
Very good. We talk about aggressive riders. This is one of them. Morgan Cromer, SCR Metallic Soldier is the horse, Wes.
Oh, I love watching Morgan show. She's so gritty. She's so passionate, and she does not, you know, sit back and just take what's there. She's very aggressive, very just in your face, going to come and get everything she can out of these runs, and I really enjoy watching Morgan show. She's very gritty. Another
great horse by Metallic Cat there. Excited to see Morgan do what Morgan does best. We see her so often in these open finals. We move now to Thomas Bray. Easy Does It by Dual Rayish.
Yeah, this mare looked really, really good in the go-rounds, and last night she, you know, gets really low and really flashy right there. And I think he's just going to keep coming out and just trying to show and get everything he can out of these runs. And he's aggressive.
Coming off a 2:18.5 in that semifinal. Talk a little bit about the semifinal. You come into the semifinal, it's a clean slate to get into the open final. You know, a big score, a solid run. How much momentum does that give you mentally, maybe, coming into this open final?
Well, and I think another thing plays a part. You know, from the second go to the semis is about 18, 19 days.
Yes.
So you got time to rest your horse a little bit and then go back to it and say, hey, this is what our horse needs to do a little bit better. So you're going to work on those things, and then you hope that the things that you worked on that time off really, you know, presents itself in a show arena. And then they're probably all of them are going to watch their videos and see, hey, this horse was really good right here. Now I can be even a little more confident. And I think you're just going to see a lot more people come out and just push the envelope a little more tonight than they did last night. And the semifinals is probably the most stressful go-around of the whole finals, because you're talking about people that missed the finals by half a point and they're walking away with $10,000 compared to people that are making the finals that have a chance to win $500,000.
Right.
So that's a lot of money. So there's a lot of pressure that goes into the semifinals of trying to get not only your horse to be the best of its ability, but to try to figure out to cut the right cows to make your horse look the best it can look.
A great explanation. We move now to Richard Hayes. D-Mac, Do I Want to Know is the horse.
Yeah, this horse looked great last night. Really quick-footed, really gritty, really low. I think he's kind of in that ballpark of too, like, hey, I want to cut these cows, going to stay, you know, like a football field in between the hashes to really showcase this horse's ability, because it's real quick in front of a cow and real cowy and real low moving. So you really want to showcase this horse's ability, and I think that's what he's done so far in these at this Futurity. So I think he's going to continue to do that.
Excited to see him in this open final, loving on that horse. This has got to be so cool for so many. I mean, even someone like you who's been there and done it, it's exciting for the guys that maybe haven't made an open final in a while. It's fun for the newbies, the first timers. You talk about somebody who's been here, done this. Let's talk now about Michael Cooper.
Yeah, Michael Cooper, he's, I think, leading the NCHA this year in money earned. And I really enjoy watching him show. He's a very aggressive rider. He's a very aggressive showman, and he's going to push the envelope as well too. And I really like that in a trainer.
Yeah, I feel like Michael is one of those guys, if you watch cutting enough, you start to pick out those of you who really are not afraid to lay it out there and just ride the heck out of these horses. And I think that Michael is one of those guys. It's always exciting to watch.
Absolutely.
Me and Stevie is the Horse by Stevie Ray Vaughan for owner JB Cattle LLC. We're excited to see what Michael can do, as you said, leading the NCHA in money earned this year, hoping to add a few more dollars to those earnings this year.
Yeah, and I think he for sure will. And he's been on fire this year. He's been showing really good. He's got a lot of people backing him this year, clients, and a lot of horses. And I know his son Lance is in his corner picking cows, and then he's always at home training horses while he's on the road showing too. So that's a good team they got going on.
And I love that family aspect. And here's another a legend in the business, Austin Shepard. I think he was on your Mount Rushmore, but you talk about the family. No doubt we'll probably likely see his son in a corner or up top helping. I love that family dynamic. You know it so well.
Absolutely, yeah. Austin Shepard's for sure on the Mount Rushmore, and he's high up on the Mount Rushmore. I mean, he's accomplished so much, and especially, like I always say, these people on the Mount Rushmore is talking about Will Rogers, these Coliseums down here at Fort Worth, because this is where it matters. You can win 20 million, and that doesn't matter. What matters is how you win and how you produce at the Fort Worth Arena. And this guy, he has done everything there is to be done here, and done it twice.
We move now to the final horse to work in the Open Futurity final. It's the Kansas Man. We're going to Dirk Blakesley. California Raisin by Raising the Cash is the horse.
Yeah, this horse has got a really good move right there, just like that. And this is going to be the kind of cows he's going to need to cut. A little, kind of closer cow, but kind of softer cow that's not running, to really showcase this horse's move, because he'll get really low, just like right here. He's starting to get really just lower as he moves right there. Like, that's really good. This is where he's going to get all his points, just like that right there. This is where this horse really shines. And so it's important for him tonight to really try to get those type of cows, if they're available in that draw, to present this horse the best way he can.
Yeah, we saw Dirk put up some good solid scores, big scores in that first round, second round. Obviously excited to see him here. Shows a lot of good age limit horses. He has a lot of good weekend horses as well. That is your final horse to work in set number 2. It will be Dirk Blakesley, California Raisin. That is a preview of the second set. It all comes down to this. Hey, keep it right here, because Wes and I are not going anywhere. We will be bringing you the call for set number 2 of the Open Futurity Championship.
Folks, we are set and ready for set number 2. It is draw 12 down to 23 here. Judges are set. We're ready. Would She Be a Rising by Bad Boon Arising. This one was bred by the Grace Ranch Incorporated, owned by the 1027 Ranch. And this one is going to be ridden by Adon Banuelos of Granbury, Texas. Lee Francois going to be second to work. Smooth Metallica, Brad Mitchell, be getting ready.
Well, welcome back to
Would She
set
Be a
number
Rising
2.
Is the mare by
It will
Bad
be
Boon
Adon
Arising.
Banuelos, Would She Be a Rising, is set to kick off this second set. Wes, welcome back. We saw you run down to help brother Bo. Let's talk about that run real quick. Unofficially, that 226 on top. What are your thoughts?
It was an amazing run. The first 2 cows were really good, a little tough and close, and degree of difficulty, and then finish it off. The third cow was as good as a cow as you could possibly get, and that horse was amazing tonight. Very bright, very cowy, trying his heart out down in that ground, deep in that ground, and Bo did an amazing job showing right there, and now he set the bar high. It's going to be very difficult to get around it, but they left a little room, so you can still get around this score, but it's going to be difficult. They're going to have to be very aggressive and very, shoot for it.
And as we know, as you know, it's not over until the very last horse rides into the pin. You won a Futurity doing just that. Let's watch now Don Banuelos. I talked to Liz Quirk earlier. She said dear friends of them in Louisiana bred this mare. Corey Deal bought her in the 2-year-old training sale, and she said Adon has done such a great job. And of course, Adon and the Quirks, the 1027 Ranch, what a partnership they have.
Absolutely, and Adon is very, very smart, very efficient on showing horses, so he knows how to put a run together.
Adon is a Futurity champion.
Great cut right there. Now he's just waiting for the cow kind of come back to him, take a hold. There we go. Good cow. Very good. Very good right here. There you go. Good. Get over there. There you go. Great job riding. Stay up against that cow. Great first cow. Textbook.
Adon is a $7.8 million rider, the youngest in NCHA history to reach that $7 million mark. I mean, his accolades are just a mile long, and he knows how to get it done here on the big stage.
And this is the obstacle of being first sometimes, too. That herd can be a little bit fluffy, like a little bit touchy, and so you're trying to be smooth and not scare that herd. That was an amazing job of getting this cow cut clean. Starting really good right here. Really good cow right here. Great cow. Looking for a spot to get off of there now. Stay against it. Patient. There we go. Perfect. Really good first 2 cows. Everything's going really good. He wants to finish strong now. And this is an art. This is an art. Every which way you go on a cow or the herd, it's going to dictate where that cow goes. So that was a perfect job of being patient and stepping up into that hole and cutting that cow. This is another great cow right here. He's put 3 cows really, really good together. Great cow right here. This is textbook cow. Get on over there. Great job showing and executing. That's a perfect Don Banuelos run right there. That's what he does. He executes very, very smart and very, very intelligent. Did a great job in the herd and the art of getting those cows cut clean. Did an amazing job showing.
Great way to kick off this second set here in our open final. Adon Banuelos, Would She Be a Rising is the mare.
And that was a good job. He did all he could do right there. That was a great job showing.
220.5. We like it here in the Sale Pavilion. They like it in the John Justin. The 4.6 is bringing us the replay. Great job there for Adon Banuelos. Getting set now for our second horse to work in set number 2. All right, Wes, you watched the cows in the first set. If you're in the second set, what is the game plan? What did you see in that first set? Are you going to be a little cautious in set number 2? What do you see?
Absolutely not. I see a 226 on the board, and I feel like if I have the type of horse that can give a run for it, I'm going with everything I can after it and not holding back.
You heard it here first, not going to hold back. Going now to Lee Francois, Sisters on the Wagon, is the mare, a $3.8 million rider. Lee was the reserve in the Open World Finals earlier this week in a tough battle with Cass Tatum, and I did Cass's interview, and it was cool because you talk about sort of the sportsmanship in this sport, right? He came up, I think $500 separated them for that world title. He came up and he gave Cass a huge hug. That says a lot about Lee Francois, the type of person that he is, and you know, he was cheering for Cass, and we're going to watch him here now on Sisters on the Wagon by Metallic Cat.
And he's been second here at the Futurity twice.
Yep.
So he's knocking on the door for this gold buckle, and he wants one of these gold buckles. He's never had one, and he wants one. So he's coming after this Futurity gold buckle. Cal's a little close right here. We're going to have to be accurate. Good start, really good start right there. Horse was accurate and smart. Cal was a little close and tough. The horse has been very dialed in.
Lee Francois and his wife, part of the ownership team, along with the Barwick family.
I believe they even got a little Elvis Presley playing in the background.
I like it.
Nothing but a hound dog.
Good music can really set up the energy for a good run.
Absolutely. That was a great cut right there, stepping up in there. Great job. Here we go. Let's go to work. Really good cow right there, trying him in those ends. He's controlling this cow really good. Right there, good job. Plenty of time. Now we got to make a good decision. Plenty of time. Let's finish strong. Really good run so far.
Plenty of cows to choose from.
Now we need to come. 25. Perfect job stepping up there. Another great cut. Just great third cow. Really good third cow. Perfect third cow. That's textbook third cow is what you want.
Lee Francois, Sisters on the Wagon.
Did an amazing job showing right there and executing.
How about that? 220.5 for Lee Francois. Taking a look at the 4.6's replay.
And that's going to go home with a great check. Great check.
Good look at the crowd there inside the John Justin. We can hear the screaming clear in the sale pavilion. It's been a good night of cutting so far.
Absolutely, it's been amazing. It looks like the cows really started off really good in this set, so we'll keep seeing how it plays out.
Taking a look now at our next horse set to work, Brad Mitchell. Smooth Metallic is the horse. Brad bred and raised this horse, and he trained this horse's mother and the horse's grandmother. And he said it's really kind of fun from a trainer's perspective because he said you can see the tendencies in this horse that the grandmother and the mother had. He said it gives you a little bit of an advantage. And he told me, he said the grandmother was a little bit crazy, so he knew how far that he could push that one.
Absolutely, that always helps. And this horse has a lot of eye appeal last night. Had a lot of brightness and real pretty move to it.
Yeah, marked a 218.5 in that semis. Brad's a $3 million rider, Open Hall of Famer.
Whoa. Sometimes like these horses are babies. They're 3-year-olds that have never been showed before this show, and sometimes that pressure can get to them a little bit.
Yeah, you think about what you're asking these horses to do, you know, the crowd, the music, the environment. I mean, we've talked about it during the first set. You have those pre-works, you try to recreate that show environment, but it really is hard to create this.
Absolutely, and all you can do is the best you can do. And you know, sometimes, like I said, it's a lot of pressure coming at these babies, and sometimes it can overwhelm them a little too much. A really good cow here.
Got a little bit of time left here. Cowboy Trailer Sales bringing us that great herd cam. Brad Mitchell going to go ahead and finish out his run. Smooth Metallica by Smooth Talkin' Style
Here we go.
is the horse.
This is the one. This is the one that basically Bo and the whole Galleon family right now are sweating. And this is the horse that has dominated this Futurity up to this point and has looked spectacular. And you're about to see the crowd erupt if she cuts some good cows, and it will be very intense and very loud. And this is very exciting to watch.
Absolutely. Finishing up the 4-6s replay with Brad Mitchell here. But of course, Wes is talking about our next horse and rider to work. It is the storyline, if you follow Cutting, that everyone has been talking about. She has already walked away with the non-pro championship. It is Allie Good, Colt 45, a horse that she trained. She said it was indescribable to win the non-pro. Imagine if she becomes the first person ever to walk away, not only with the non-pro, but the Open Championship. And Wes, she has been lights out good.
Absolutely. She's been lights out. And, you know, here's a new element. The new element is now there's a big score on the board, and we've got to go get it. And so now it's about her trying to do her job like she's been doing and execute at a high level. But this horse is very capable and just very dynamic and incredible to watch.
You talk about big scores. She was a 223 in round 1, a 219 in round 2, and a 227 last night in the semis.
And this is what she's going to try to do. She's going to try to get up there and make sure she gets herself some clean cuts to give herself an opportunity to not get in this horse's way, to give this horse a chance, a fighting chance to go after it.
And you already said it, the crowd will go absolutely wild right here.
Ooh. Looking for a spot to quit. Right there, good. Amazing dynamic cow right there. Cow kind of pushed her off in her left corner just a tick right there. It was just a little bit tough right there, but she's still okay.
She said in her non-pro interview, champion interview, she said this horse is a pain to deal with day in and day out, but the great ones, sometimes they are a pain.
Great job getting up right here and getting her cow cut. There we go, good. Really, there, that cow's taking a hold of us. Taking a hold of us, let work. There we go, work. There we go, good. Come on now, she's got to come on. She's got to be aggressive. She's behind the 8 ball right now. She's going to have to be aggressive and come on.
25 seconds, Allie Good, cow number 3. Come on, Allie. Ladies and gentlemen, Allie Good, Colt 45. Wes, what do you think?
Well, she gave it her best shot, and just the cows just didn't work out tonight in her favor. You know, the cows kind of kept running to that left corner on her pretty hard and pretty strong, but that horse was still amazing and sensational. And this is the elements that we deal with cutting horses. She has dominated this Futurity up to this point, and these cows just tonight right there, the cows that they chose just kind of bolted into those corners just a couple of times and didn't keep her centered up in the middle of that show pen, and that's the result in the score, and the judges, they got it correct.
Yeah, Wes, not the run that she wanted to have, but you got to give her credit, right? Like, what a dominant performance, and congratulations to her for being that non-pro champion as well.
Absolutely, amazing horse, and she should be proud for everything they've done here at this Futurity.
Absolutely. Well, it is not over until it's over. We move now to a name that we all know. Lloyd Cox is the next man to ride in. New Rebellion by Metallic Rebel is the horse, the $11 million rider, the Open Hall of Famer, the all-time NCHA money earner.
Yeah, and Lloyd, he's, you know, we always joke around, call him Cool Hand Luke, you know, and he's just always, nothing's going to get to him on pressure. He's going to go down there and show and do his thing, and we're going to see how it plays out.
He's a Futurity champion back in 2015, so he has been here. We've seen him in many, many open finals in these big aged event at these Triple Crown shows. Kathleen Moore is the owner of this horse.
And she's been a phenomenal owner for Lloyd and even James Payne. Like, she's been so loyal, been there for years, so supportive of Lloyd and James, and just been an amazing owner.
You talk about, you know, the breeding on these horses. Metallic Rebel is the stud. Look at the mare, Special New Baby. I mean, what an exceptional mare that was. The breeding is everything on these horses.
Absolutely. Special New Baby is one of the greatest dual ray mares of all time. There with Matt Gaines showing her. Good cut to start. Looks like a great cow so far. There we go. There we go. Great first cow, really great first cow. That's the way to start off a run right there, and that's a typical Lloyd Cox run right there. That first cow, you've seen Lloyd do this time and time again with those type of cows.
You can see Lloyd looking for something specific, talking to his help. It makes an amateur like myself feel a little bit better knowing even an $11 million rider needs to confer with his help from time to time.
Absolutely. We're kind of running short on time, so we're going to try to make this a 2-cow cutting right now. You've got to do it to try to get all your points. Great job stepping up there and getting this cow cut. Now it's time to go to work. Looks like another great cow. Attaboy. Come on. Got to stay here if we can. This cow's going to start getting a little nasty. It's running out of... Come on, come on. Come on. Yeah. That's going to hurt us right there just a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk about the longer you stay on a cow, typically the harder it becomes, correct?
That's right. Well, and we had time management, so the time was winding down. So in his mind, he had a chance of going for that 22 or 23 area. He had to risk it, and those last 10 seconds cost him from probably marking a 22 or 23 right there. But he had to do it. He had no choice because of the time management of the run early on, cutting the cows, having to go deep to get the cows.
Right. Cutting 2 cows or staying on that second cow longer can make you, or it can sometimes break you.
Sometimes these cows, they only have so much good in them, and then they just run out.
good look there at the crowd, the fan base. So many people invested in these horses, these riders. We talked about the owners. We talked about the trainers. Talk about the lopers, the people back there behind the scenes, loping and preparing these horses. That is an incredibly important job. Wes.
Absolutely. They're the ones driving the horses to the show. They're washing them, bathing them, loping them, feeding them. They're putting all their hard work and sweat and tears, and then obviously they're rooting and cheering and hollering, very passionate for their horses that are going down there.
Absolutely.
Riders.
Those lopers sometimes don't get the credit that they deserve. We, of course, awarded the Loper of the Year earlier. It wouldn't be possible without them. And next to work, Casey Green, the $2 million rider, Platinum Memories, is the mare. Casey's had this mare the whole time, trained her full sister, and was reserve in the world back in 2022. Bought her as a yearling and started her at the house. He said she's been a dream, really easy to train, easy to work, and he said he feels like she has his back all the time.
And that's what she looks like. Every go I've seen her, she's very smart, very tough on a cow. Nothing phases her, it seems like, to this point. And you can tell Casey's very confident on this mare. He's doing a great job getting up out of here, getting himself some room, being very aggressive. That should be a plus coming up there, that aggressive up on this cut. Very good first cow right here.
Casey says he's really tickled for owner Paul Smith. He said he really deserves to be here. Like we've said time and time again, Casey said this is such a hard finals to make, and he said, I'm just so excited for Paul to experience this.
Right. It was a very aggressive, good cut. Love the way how aggressive he was cutting that cow. Showed a lot of courage. Mare's maybe just a tick tired, not quite as sharp as she was last night. But like I said, they're babies, and it takes a lot on these horses, a toll on these horses coming here to this Futurity, and it's a month long and 2 weeks, about 18 days from second go to the semifinals, so we don't know how much stamina they have and how they're going to hold up.
Yeah, this really is about getting these horses to peak right at this exact moment, and you've said it, it's a delicate dance, and it's hard.
Absolutely, and that's where the lopers come into play as well, too, of having that feel of those horses as well.
Casey Green, a Platinum Memories, is the mare.
Now we come down to Morgan Cromer, and I promise you she will be coming after that gold buckle. She will be aggressive, and she will cut aggressive, and she will be sending this horse left and right and being very aggressive, and her mindset right now is to get over that 226.
Taking a quick look at Casey Green, the 4-6's replay. As Wes said, we are set to go. Morgan Cromer is next to work. SCR Metallic Soldier by Metallic Cat is the horse. And you said it, she will come swinging for the fences. Got this horse at the end of his yearling year. He's the first one that she has from Singleton Ranches, and just been a really good horse all the way through. She told me earlier, Morgan's one of those when you talk to her about the horse, and then I said, we're doing the broadcast. Is there anything else you want me to know? She is the first person to say, I got to thank my team. I am nobody without my team, and I just love that about her out there in California, and she wants to give a shout out to her entire team, and that's what she said. She said, I can't do this without them.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really awesome. And like I said, this horse looked amazing last night, and hopefully it looks just as good or better. She's, like I said, she's going to be aggressive. She's going to come cutting. She's not going to be holding anything back, and I think she's got a chance to do everything she can to get above that score.
We've seen her in this open final before. 2 times she's been in this Open Futurity final. A $5.9 million rider.
Cow's a little close right there on that cut. A little bit of a rough cut. Horse looks amazing right here. There we go. Horse looks real good. She's definitely got her horse prepared and ready. And she was trying to push that cow out and be aggressive on that cow, and that cow just wasn't really feeling her. And that's why it kind of just a hair of a rough cut, just a little bit on that first cut.
Talk a little bit about the cut. I mean, you've talked about, we've seen some really great ones. We've seen some that are a little bit rough. What exactly are the judges looking for when it comes to the cut? Because that's actually something that's harder to do than it looks.
Yeah, it's an art. It really is an art. Every angle that you take is going to have a counter effect on that cow. But you want to show the judges your courage and be aggressive and show that you're coming after it. And this is what she's trying to do here. She's trying to dig this cow out here. There we go. Great cow so far. There we go. Get it, Morgan. There you go. Great cow. Come on. Come on, guys. There you go. This horse looks great tonight. 28 seconds in a tough spot. Right there. Good. Let's go. Come on. There she goes. Good job. Just chip something off and let's go. Great cut. Great job getting cut right there. Awesome job. Awesome job. The horse looks amazing tonight. Morgan had this horse ready and prepared. Good job, Morgan. That was a great job showing. Horse looked amazing. Love the way that horse moves and get down in that ground. She should be so proud of herself right now.
Morgan Cromer, one of the greats in the business, a $5.9 million rider. How about that? 219 and a half.
Yeah, and that's part of it. She's trying to be aggressive, and just that first cut, just was a little bit of, a rough cut right there. Just kind of probably stopped her from getting up in that 22 and 23 area. And just sometimes when those cows are being pushy, it's tough to do that. But that horse, she had that horse ready. That horse looked amazing tonight. She showed great. Just those cuts kind of got just a little tough on us right there. But still, really good score. Going to bring home a really good check.
Getting set to work for our 19th horse of this Open final, going to be Thomas Bray. It will be Easy Does It, is the mare by Dual Rayish. Talked to him earlier, and he said, I didn't have 2 horses to show. So Jonathan Rogers asked him to catch rider. He said, there was a time when he had no horses, and he said, Jonathan took me under his wing, and he sent me some 2-year-olds. He actually sent me 12 2-year-olds. I had no horses. And he said from that point on, they became great friends, and they help each other at shows. And he said he was the first person to ask him to catch ride. And Thomas told me on the phone earlier, he has made the semis 3 times. He has missed the final by a half a point twice. So his time has come. This was due.
That's right. This sport can be heartbreaking. Like I said, you're dealing with cows, and there's nothing guaranteed when you're walking down there.
He says this mare has just gotten better and better and better.
Yeah, she looked great last night from watching in the semifinals. Gets low, moves really well, has a really cool look to her.
He's been really consistent, too. A 218 in the first go, 219 in the second, and then a 218 and a half, as you said last night in the semis.
Really good cut. That was a great cut right there. Great cut. There we go. Get on over there. Come on. There we go. Good. Taking a hold of this cow good right here. Good start. Another really good cut. Cutting a really good cow right here. This cow's really suiting this mare really, really well. Oh, come on. Hung in that ground just a little bit right there.
You watch these horses, they are just absolutely such athletes.
Yeah, and especially, like we said, they're 3 years old. This is their first show, handling all this that's going on and the pressure of it. It's amazing how many great horses and how many great trainers there are that are getting these horses prepared for this show. Looks like he's cutting the Brayford. Well, it looks like that catch ride just got a really good check right there. He did a really good job showing that mare. Everything was really, really good. Maybe hung up in that ground one time, but he did a great job, and that was a good little horse and great job showing.
Absolutely. 216 there for Thomas. Certainly fun to see him in that open final finally after coming so close 3 different times. We're moving down to the last few horses of the set. All right, Wes, Brother Bo, 226. We know that that's on top. You're just going to go for it at this point. I mean, there's nothing to lose, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're in the finals, and you've got to go for it. But at the same time, you have to be able to have the right kind of cows to set yourself up for the situation to go for it. So that's going to play an element, too, of just how good these cows are. But so far to this point, the cows have been really good. Just, just like that last horse. He cut really good cows right there. The horse just hung up in the ground right there. Maybe got just a tick flat on his right side, and that's what caused him to kind of hang in that ground just a little bit. This horse looked really good and real quick-footed last night and real snappy. So I think it can maybe handle these cows good.
Rick Hayes set next to work. D-Mac, Do I Want to Know, is the horse by Cool and Hot. They bought her at the Western Bloodstock sale. So many of these great horses come out of that Western Bloodstock sale. Bought by a longtime friend and customer, and he said, we've known each other since we were kids, so that makes it pretty cool. He says, typically we buy a couple horses and then we sell them. He goes, but every now and then we get to keep one, and this is one that they got to keep. And so he said that this has been a cool redemption story. The first horse that they kept missed the semis barely, but like a half a point or something. And he says it's really just a God thing. It's special to do this with, this owner. And, there's just so many stories and storylines like these behind the scenes. And it just makes this so much more incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great story.
He's been with Tim Dunn, the owner, since he was 17 years old.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And he said, even when I wasn't getting it done, when I was not winning, Tim stuck by my side.
Yeah. Good little start right here. So you got to stay inside this cow. This cow's going to try to run you over. Yep.
Oh.
That's where that cow got just a little close and tough, and that horse got, maybe just a tick flat right there. But it's that horse trying to do what, we've trained him to do, and that's just the purity of being young and a little bit green. And that's where sometimes, too, later in these sets, too, each set can be different. Later in these sets, these cows start getting a little bit tough because you start running out of the really, really good cows.
Yeah, so much depends on the cattle. And you just said, you'll hear sometimes I hate to see that. Sometimes as the set goes on, the cattle get a little bit better. Things settle in and settle down. And then to your point, sometimes as the set go on, things get worse.
That's right. And that's like I told you earlier, it depends on the set. Sometimes they start a little bit wild and then they'll settle in and get really, really good at the end. Sometimes they start amazing and then they'll kind of run out of those really good cows and then it just gets really tough.
Yeah. You just think about, if you really stop and think about how many variables there are in the sport of cutting, right? You're relying on 4 people, 4 other people to help you, 4 horses, you're relying on a horse under you, and then you have all of these cattle. It really is kind of insane what we do.
Absolutely. And, you know, trusting the loper to make sure they get the horse ready.
Absolutely. Right? That's a huge part, a crucial part of it.
But they're going to go on and do really well with this mare. She's looked good the whole show here, so he's going to go on and win some good money on this.
That was Rick Hayes, DMAC, Do I Want to Know by Cool and Hot for owner Tim Dunn. Take a quick look at the 4-6's replay. You heard Wes talking about the cows. Just wasn't the day. Just 3 horses left to work, Wes.
Galleons are sweating it just a little bit.
The Galleon family is sweating just a bit, I can attest. Michael Cooper will be next to work. Me and Stevie is the mare. I bought her at the Bash, he told me earlier, from RL Chartier, and he said she is wild. He goes, Courtney, she's crazy, you know, in typical Coop fashion, but he said RL did such a great job with her. He said, you know, we saw this mare. He called the owner. He said, you know, got this horse, but she's nuts. She's wild. And he said, let me drink my coffee, and I'll think on it. He drank his coffee, and he called Coop back, and he said, buy her. And here they are in this open Futurity, and I don't know if anyone can ride a wild one. I think Coop probably can.
Yeah, absolutely. Cooper's, you know, he's going to be aggressive. He's an aggressive rider, and he's an aggressive showman. You know, but at the same time, he's going to try to set up the cow in the herd to try to get a chance at it and then get up cut clean, and then he's going to go to work and be very aggressive, and I think he's got a chance to put up a really big score right here. Yeah, and he's the NCHA money leading rider this year as trainers.
Yes. The 2025 Run for $1 Million champion. He was the Brazos Bash Open champion. We've seen him in these finals so many times.
Yeah, and he's got his son Lance in the corner helping him with the cows, and Lance has come on to be a really good teammate for him too. Looks like a great first cut so far. It was a good job being patient, just reading that cow and waiting on it. He's doing a good job. The cow's just being not quite taking a hold of him yet. There we go. That was a good job riding through that turn to hold that. There. That was a great job riding through that turn. He really put himself in a physical situation to help that horse get back through there really, really well to make sure that he didn't have a miss right there. And that's where good horse riders come in and play a factor as well too. Like if you're not a good rider right there, that horse would have missed, and being able to ride and be in the right position on that horse really helped that horse get back through that turn really quick and fast.
Absolutely. Got about a minute and a half, a minute 25 left. A little bit of time to play with.
Yeah, he's trying to get. A really good cow right here. This is a great cow, and that was a good job of being patient, trying to get this cow cut. And he knows these cows are trying to look to run him over, so he's trying to really be smart and stay right on the inside of this cow. Probably going to start looking for a spot right here. There you go. Now he's got 40 seconds, plenty of time. Got to finish strong. Probably looking to Lance to point him some good cows.
Yeah, always cool to see multiple generations in the pen at once.
Another really good cut right there. Is a great cut. All right, let's go to work. Really good right there. Good. Come on, stay in there. Ooh. Ooh. That was tough right there. A really good run right there until right there at the end. That cow just gave him a really dirty move right there, and that horse missed it, and that's part of, you know, having a young 3-year-old right there. But Michael did an amazing job showing. The horse looked great. did everything he could to present that run really well.
2:15.5 for Michael Cooper. Me and Stevie by Stevie Ray Vaughan. And then, Wes, there were two, but two that you certainly don't want to count out. I'll say it again, it's not over until it's over. We are going next to Austin Shepherd. My Kind of Mink by Metallic Ray Mink is the horse. Austin is already a two-time Futurity champion. You can see the full house inside John Justin. No one is leaving their seats just yet. Am I making you nervous? No one is leaving their seats just yet.
Oh, absolutely. It is nervous. And listen, Austin's been there and done that. And this mare, I believe, topped for $1 million last year in the 2-year-old sale. Missy Jean's had him all year long, and I think he got him a few weeks or so before the Futurity, or a month before the Futurity. And this mare is really clean moving across that cow, really big moving. She's got the reach, and she's got the talent and the ability to go off and pull a big score. And now, this is going to come down to, can he get the cows to present this mare to do that? And you need them kind of off away from him just a tick and really take a hold to let her really show her strength to do what she can do.
Yeah, as Austin gets on and gets ready, I talked to him earlier. I think, you said maybe 2 months, 3 months he's had this horse. Now, you guys are professionals. This is what you do for a living. But let me ask you this. Is it harder to get on a horse like this that you haven't had in your program, maybe since they were a yearling or a 2-year-old? How big of a difference does that play, or does it? I mean, you guys do this for a living, so maybe this is just business as usual.
Yeah, I mean, it plays a factor, but Austin, he's a great showman, and he's probably worked her enough to kind of know what she does really, really well and what she doesn't, and so he's going to try to do everything he can to sit her in that situation to really represent her in the best way possible. And this mare is a really beautiful mover. She really moves back and forth across that cow really well and has a lot of reach across that cow. So he's just going to kind of get up there and try to cut these cows and let her do her thing and not get in her way and press on her too much.
Yeah, Austin, a man of few words. I put him on speakerphone. You were standing here, and I said, tell me about the mare. And he said, well, she's athletic and she's super intelligent, and that was all Austin Shepherd gave me. But hey, it says a lot. If someone like Austin Shepherd calls you extremely athletic and super intelligent, you believe it. He's an $11.5 million rider, an Open Hall of Famer. Pretty consistent, really, too. If you look across these rounds, 221 in round number 1, 215.5 in round number 2, and then put up a 220 in the semis.
Absolutely. And this is his mindset too right now. I mean, he's a very aggressive showman, and he can really do some great things. And like I said, he's on the Mount Rushmore of cutting horse trainers.
Yeah. One of the hidden talents that no one ever talks about in the cutting West, but that I'm always impressed by, is the fact that some of you can clip your glasses to your shirt and then ride a horse like this, and your glasses are still there when you get done.
Well, I've
him
not
and Matt Gaines. It amazes me.
And Lloyd Cox. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not reached that age yet, so hopefully I don't ever have to wear them.
Austin Shepherd, My Kind of Mink is the mare, getting ready to go to work here.
Yeah, and this is his mentality right now, is just to execute and do his job on getting these cows cut. Black cow's kind of getting in the way right here. That black cow needed to roll to his right. It's kind of causing a little bit of problems right here. There we go. Good cut. Mare's got a lot of look, This mare's got a lot of talent right there. Wow, amazing recovery. Ooh, hung in the ground a little bit, but that's okay. That cow released up enough. I think he's okay right there. That cow saved him by releasing up instead of keep going right there. But that mare is doing some amazing things right there, getting left and right. Started off really big right there. see, he's very aggressive coming through this herd. He's trying to feel this out, but he's trying to get up and away. Great cut right here. Easy does it. He wants to stay inside this cow. This is a really good run right here. Really good run. This is a great cow. It's trying him. Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's heartbreaking right there. I mean, heartbreaking. He was having an amazing run going on, too.
Man.
Amazing run.
the sport of cutting.
Just got a little hung in that ground.
Oh, you can see it on Austin's face.
But you could tell the crowd was roaring, and that mare was amazing and looked phenomenal. And the crowd was really behind him. Old Bo was sweating some bullets right there.
Austin Shepherd, my kind of mink, such a nice mare, gonna love on her, cheering in the sale pavilion. You can see the heartbreak on Austin Shepherd's face right now.
He knew it too. He had it going on. That mare looked amazing, getting left and right across that cow. And sometimes when they get across that cow like they're doing, like they're going so hard and so aggressive across that cow that they're hitting that ground really hard, and just sometimes they just get hung up in that ground.
Taking a look at the replay brought to us by the 4-6s.
What a special mare.
You talk about, Austin Shepherd riding out. You can see the disappointment. You guys are you're sad for the horse.
Oh,
because
yeah.
you know those horses deserve it, and you know how hard those horses are working. That's the worst part.
And you put in so much too, and this has been a long show. It's like a marathon of a show.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one Futurity a year, and you only have so many opportunities at this. And just like Austin right there, kind of beating on his his thigh a little bit right there, just knew like right there that we had a chance, and we were almost right there, and it just slipped away.
Yeah. Well, we always say it's not over until the last horse rides in. This is the last horse set to work at this open final. Dirk Blakesley, California Raisin is the horse. I chatted with Dirk earlier, bought this horse as a yearling through the Western Bloodstock sale. Bill Miller started him. Dirk has had horses with James and Elaine for 3 or 4 years, and I said, are you nervous, Dirk? He said, no, I'm not nervous. He said, this is the finals. Once you get here, it's all fun. He said he was a little nervous in the semis, and he sweated it out a bit at 217.5, but he got in there, and I saw his wife earlier. They're just really, really excited to be here.
Yeah, that's great. This horse looked good last night. You want to kind of cut some closer, softer cows with this horse to let him get low and move and get on his belly.
Come on, Dirk. Dirk said he really, really loves this horse. He said probably as good a horse as he's had in a long time, and that says a lot when Dirk says that.
Absolutely. And Dirk, amazing, amazing person.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like what you're trying to do right here, it's like a poker. You're just trying to make the best of the cards that are dealt to you. This is what this horse does really good, is just get low and move back and forth across this cow. This is a great cow that they dug out down here deep. Really good cow. Just getting a little long to his right. Yeah, that was a great cow. It was a great job being last, picking out a cow that good.
Got a little bit of time here, Wes, but gonna need to make a decision pretty quick.
Absolutely. Try to get the best check he can get. Horse hanging in the ground just a tick.
Come on, Dirk. Go ahead and finish
Really
this
good
run.
right there.
Yeah.
Really good right there. Really good finish right here. That was a great job of executing a run, being last right there in that hole. There's some, he did a great job cutting these cows.
Dirk Blakesley, the $1.9 million rider. California Raisin is the stud by Raisin the Cash. Taking a good look there. 217.5 for Dirk. Gonna pick up, as you said, a nice check. Taking a quick look at the 4.6's replay there. Dirk Blakesley, the final man to work in the open final, putting together a nice little run. But unofficially, Wes, I have a champion interview to do. And I'm not going to say it's official, but his last name might be Gallion.
Yeah, big brother. Big brother took it home tonight. I couldn't be more proud for him and, you know, what he's accomplished. And it's just for, you know, the Gallion family, it's an amazing blessing, and we're tremendously blessed. And so grateful to be a part of this sport. I think it's the greatest sport on earth, and we're tremendously blessed to get to do it. And I'm so proud of Bo tonight for executing out of that last hole in the first set. Very proud.
Absolutely. Congratulations to you, the entire family. And hey, I don't want to see you here next year, but you're pretty dang good in the broadcast booth, so you can join me anytime.
No doubt. I don't want to be here ever again.
Thank you so much, Wes Gallion. I'm Courtney Dehoff. Thank you so much for watching the NCHA World Championship Futurity.
Joining Ms. Courtney Dehoff is your 2025 Metallic Cat World Championship Futurity Champion, Bo Gallion.
Bo Gallion, congratulations. You are now a two-time Futurity champion, and what a great horse with a special story behind it. Tell us a little bit about this horse.
Well, this horse, his daddy, and his grandfather have all won the Futurity.
Pretty special. And there was something that happened to you tonight that happened to you when you won your last Futurity. I don't know if you're superstitious, but tell me about it.
So last night we're on our way home, and going down our street, a black cat runs in front of us. And the last time a black cat run in front of us, we won the Futurity on Metallic Cat. And a black cat went in front of Lloyd and Christina before they won the Futurity. So it was actually like freaked out. And I just tried to not act like it was a big deal, but I was like, that was weird.
It was a sign, it was an omen. Black cats are good to the Gallion family. Let's talk a little bit about this run today. Cow 1, Cow 2, really good. And then cow number 3, your brother said sealed the deal.
Well, let's see if I can remember any of that.
Did you black out during the run? It was a beautiful, beautiful run.
Well, it was amazing. I mean, Matt Miller and Taryn were trying so hard for me. You could just feel the extra effort, the people around me, you know. It was just amazing to feel the people that was wanting me to do good. You know, Clay Johnson come up to me, he's making sure of my cows, and so being last there just wasn't a lot. And so you're kind of, your hands forced to this cow. And I asked Taryn and Matt before I went down there, I said, so let's get this straight, we're gonna cut a bad eye red cow? And they're like, yep. And I'm like, okay.
That was the plan. You stuck to it, and that plan worked out really well at 226. Your brother was in the broadcast booth next to me, and I just told you before we came on air, I said it was a little like sitting next to a loaded rocket because you were the last horse in that first set. Y'all had the Gallion family was sweating a little bit through that second set. How did you feel?
Yeah, sweating bullets. Yeah, there's just too many good. I mean, Dirk Blakesley's horse was on Facebook earlier in the year. Obviously, you got Austin Shepard that's won everything over the last 5 years, and $1 Million Mink, and then of course obviously getting around Allie Good, and her horse was so special. I mean, just so special this whole show. I mean, special enough that we saw it in the first round, and we bought that horse's mother for some clients. So I mean, she just was a rock star. She was amazing to watch, and congratulations, Allie, in the non-pro.
Says so much about your sportsmanship, Bo. Congratulations. Can you put into words yet how it feels to officially be in the history books as a two-time Futurity champ?
We're super proud. I mean, we lost my wife's mother this year, and I lost my grandfather this year. So this helps. This is pretty special.
Congratulations. You are the Open Futurity champ.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Courtney. Bo, come on down, man, as you are the Futurity champion right here in 2025 as Bo Gallion and Minkish. For owners, Jackpot Farm and Ellen Carter, they're going to win $343,000. They're going to win the Chrome Cash for an additional $12,900. They're going to win the Mink incentive for $100,000. They're going to win the Legacy incentive for $100,000 and the Valley Equine incentive for $138,000, folks. They have just won just shy of $700,000 tonight. Holy moly. A record in itself right there. Bo Gallion and Minkish. Jackpot Farm, Ellen Carter. They have done it here in 2025. They will be getting the South Texas TAC Trophy saddle, Jan Mapes NCHA Trophy, Gis Silversmith's Futurity Champion Buckle, year supply of Foresight, the Brom Balls Home Furnishing Recliner, Ultra Cruise Equine Foaming Shampoo, La Fuga Spirits Bottled Tequila, Platinum, Sombrero, Cinch, and Rio certificates, as well as Cutting Up Saddle Pad. Folks, as we welcome to the arena floor presenting our awards this evening is Mr. Jay Winborn, along with Barnwell Ramsey, Della Ragland, Katie Blessing, KK Taylor, Debbie Roberts, and Maddie Davis, all presenting awards this evening. Folks, give a round of applause once again, your 2025 Futurity Champion, Bo Gallion and Minkish.